The Scisforror Film Podcast. Day two, the films I didn't see. God. I was upset with this actually because now, I mean, I understand that there are technical issues and there are things going on and that sort of thing, and they have to move things around time-wise and things like that. Unfortunately, because of the fact that I thought one of the short film selections was going to be in a different screen to the one it was, I didn't get to see it.
Oh,
So I missed quite a few short films on this day. I was sitting in the wrong screen. There you go. But the ones I didn't see, let's see, a film called Zeta, which is an Italian film from 1983. Some of these films I will put links up to because there are some of these that are actually on YouTube.
oh, that's good. Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them. There's a film called Inside a Spider, which is a new independent film from Russia. I didn't see Razorback from 1985, Australian horror film. I've seen it before, but a long time ago. It's quite good from what I remember. A new independent film called Lenore, which is from Australia, which I didn't get to see either. Then a 1977 Australian film called The Last Wave, which is about a lawyer defending Aboriginal people who have been accused of a ritual murder.
Oh, okay. Sounds interesting.
The next one I didn't see, Where Darkness Dwells, which is a new independent film from the USA. I didn't get to see it. I didn't bother with it. I didn't see Scanners because I've seen Scanners so many times before. It would have been nice watching it on the big screen, but, which is from 1981 Canada for anyone who doesn't know David Cronenberg. Where are we? 1979 Italian film called The Visitor, which is about an intergalactic warrior, apparently. Don't know. Then there was a mystery film which I didn't get to see, and I don't really know what that was. This one, I found out what the other one was, but I don't know what this one was. Then there was the little girl that lives down the lane.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's a 1976 film from Canada, which is a bit of a sort of slashery type thing, from what I can work out. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Then new independent film called Adorable Humans, which I didn't get to see, and the new Italian horror film called Haven, which had its premiere at the festival. But I didn't know it was on until I got there that day, so I didn't get to see that. There were short films I didn't get to see: Shadow of Dawn, Appetite of a Nobody, Versipelius, Baby Blues, Going Dark, The Suicide Shift, Sweet Tooth, Shutter Ghost, Surface Tension, Living Dolls, Hoax, Follow You, Fairy Tale Farm, and Crash and Burn. Some of which sound quite interesting, but I didn't get to see any of them.
Oh, okay.
But there you go.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But like I say, being in 3 or 4 different places at once is tough.
Yeah. So, short films I got to see on this time. I got to see a film called A Screen in a Room. Yeah. You're watching a computer and there's video from a doorbell cam and things like that. It's incredibly slow and really overlong for what it is.
Was it found footage or?
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just kind of like you were watching the stuff from this doorbell camera that had it sort of like almost in real time, and it was. I just thought it was a bit dull myself.
Okay.
Um,
Could have
uh,
done that with being a bit faster, you think?
yeah, it, it it took a long time to not get very far.
Okay.
Really, there was one I really liked. It's called Rock Paper Scissors Death,
Okay.
and it's basically you got two people tied or people tied up playing uh, rock paper scissors. The idea whoever loses dies, and there's
Right.
this guy who desperately wants to lose because of the fact that he's been playing it for ages and he just wants to get out, or just he's just had enough. But none of the people he's playing against believe him, so he's telling them how to win, and they don't believe him. So that was quite good.
Mm.
You got a film called The Night Watcher. It was a bit of an odd ending to it, not bad. It was about security guards working at night, and it was all done through the security cameras on the screens they're watching on and that sort of thing. As I say, it wasn't a bad film, a bit of an odd ending, but it
Mm.
didn't really do much for me. There were two films that were part of the 666 challenge. I don't know
Okay.
if you know about this.
No, no, tell us.
Okay, you have to do a short film. I think you've got 660 hours. No, that can't be right. I can't remember. But anyway, basically, you've got to make this short film within a set amount of time.
Right. Okay.
And I think they normally either give you, I think they either give you a prop and a line of dialogue, or sometimes it's just a line of dialogue, and you have to include those in the film somewhere.
Oh, okay.
The
Mm.
first one was called Exit. Uh, it's a woman wakes up with a headache and she starts hearing things and seeing things, and it's kind of like she's in therapy, sort of. It's a bit odd,
Mm.
kind of interesting, but it didn't really do much. The next one was also 666 challenges. They're called The Doll's House. Again, it's not great, but it's okay. It's a kind of doll comes to life and attacks people type of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing spectacular, but it was all right. And if you got to make it in a limited amount of time, and you're limited because you've got to include these certain things, then I suppose what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes you know you have to remember that they've been put under this pressure. You know.
Absolutely. There was a film called Banshee. Uh, there were some good sound effects. There's some interesting filming where this woman is in a maze and she doesn't know where she's going, and she's seeing things and that sort of thing. It's not bad, but again, it was a bit. It didn't really grab me, so I kind
No,
of
that
lost.
seems to be coming back a lot now. You know, a lot of horror films I've watched recently, there's been mazes in, and it's been like in estates and big houses, and you've got like the main character being lost in a maze, and it seems to be that at least three or four films I've watched in recent times. So I think that sort of thing is it's not been like explored enough. Really, it's like the sort of freakishness of the killer being in the maze and you're sort of trying to get out.
Yeah,
You know, it was even in a video game I played recently, actually, as well. So, you know, I
that's
think,
not bad.
yeah, yeah. So I do actually think that that's going to be a thing. Watch out for some maze-related horror films coming soon. I do actually think it's going to be a genre.
Yeah,
You know, I
why
think
not?
it's going to be a thing.
Why not? Yeah. I watched one called The Darkness Remains, which looked interesting. It's basically this guy. Uh, he's kind of like got this woman there that he's saying her evil past is catching up with her and all that sort of thing. It was odd, but it was interesting. The only problem with it was the sound was a bit muffled, so it was difficult to hear exactly what was going on some of the time. But it looked quite interesting. One I quite liked called A Drive at Dawn, which is guy his car pulls up in the middle of the desert, and these guys pull this sack out off the back of this sort of pickup truck, and they put it on the floor, they kick the crap out of it, and then they drive off.
Mm.
And the guy climbs out of the sack, but he's a vampire.
Oh, okay.
So he's just sat there in the middle of the desert as the sun comes up,
Oh.
which is quite interesting.
Mm.
There's one called the Diane Richards Tape, which is a found footage film. Okay, I've got to say here, found footage films are not my thing. I
No.
really do not like them very much.
Whereas I'm
Um,
quite the opposite. I'm quite a found footage geek.
it's okay. Uh, Typical sort of type film. Group goes missing. This this woman goes looking for them. She's got videos and she's got tapes and that sort of thing. She goes trying to find out where they are, and uh, the usual happens.
I love the fact that you're so nonchalant on it, and I'm like, yes, tell me more. I love it.
I don't know. There's a film called, the next one was a film called Amy and I, which I thought was really good. It's a dinner date basically, and um, it's this woman and a bloke at the table, that sort of thing, and they're talking, and basically from the way they're talking, it's kind of like they split up, but they're together, and then you find out he's not actually there at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Right.
uh, there's a the next one was called Silent Screams. This woman wakes up anxious. There's noises coming from the wardrobe. Her mother comes in and tells her there's nothing to worry about, and then the door shuts and a strange creature appears in the room.
Ooh, spooky.
Then there was one which was Forget Me Not, which I really liked actually. It's done by I think Samantha Ockey, I think her name is. I've met her a long time ago, but it's a very interesting idea. Um, it's about a cold case podcast. It's been done by this woman, and she's trying to sort of like she's saying she's getting evidence together against this guy who she says is a serial killer. Um, and then you find out you see the guy that she's talking about, and you find out that his nephew comes to visit him, and you find out that his nephew is getting married to the woman who's doing the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's quite an interesting.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
nice little twist. Yeah.
it's very good.
Mm.
Okay, I then watched a feature film called "We Put the World to Sleep"
Okay.
by a guy called Adrian Taffy. Now, this is from Romania. Okay, I was told by somebody. Somebody said to me, "Have you seen the last film you made?" It was on. I said, "No, I missed it. It was on last year's Chester." Ah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, really good. I went, "Oh," he said, "I'm really, yeah, looking forward to this." I thought, "Oh, okay, right, it should be good then." So I went in. Okay, this is a documentary.
Right.
Well, no, it, it says it's a documentary. It's a film done as if it is a documentary,
Mm.
but it's about two actors making an apocalyptic film. And while they're doing that, they decide that what they're actually going to do is they kind of get lost inside the characters they're playing and decide they're going to actually destroy the world.
No. Okay.
But then it kind of jumps, and you find out that none of that was true,
Right.
and that was all a film that they were making, saying what would happen if these two people got lost inside their characters and started
Okay.
doing this thing. And then the guy who made the film starts getting lost inside the thing he's doing now, which is about serial killers, and starts becoming obsessed with the night caller. Uh, his name Richard Ramirez.
Think so, yeah.
And he has put things, does things like he's got a room which is like wallpapered with pictures of this guy that he thinks is in love with him. And it's very confusing.
Right.
By the end of it, I wasn't absolutely sure what was real, what wasn't real, what was the film, what was documentary, was any of it real? And I have no idea.
So it really played with your head. Well, that's good cinema
Absolutely.
then, in a way. But
It was completely like I don't know. I really don't know.
the problem is I have with those sorts of films is sometimes it's great to have one or two twists, but when the whole film's a twist,
Yeah.
it does hurt your brain a bit. Yeah.
I came out of there thinking I have no idea what's going on now at all. I don't know what I don't know. And it's but one of the interesting things was somebody said that, and you can watch this on the uh, Horror Festival YouTube channel. There was a question and answer thing afterwards. And one of the questions that they asked this guy was, "How can you persuade me that I'm not an actor and I'm not in a film now?"
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, don't because a lot that's a conspiracy theories on itself, isn't it? We've all seen the Truman Show.
It was like 2 hours of complete mind fuck.
Yeah, was it like a weird horror version of the Truman Show? I'm getting that vibe.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of psychological horror, maybe, but it wasn't horror, and it was just completely. I don't know what's going on.
Was there no resolution at the end whatsoever?
No, not really.
Right.
At the end of it, there was things like that they had to put a statement out saying that because he was saying he'd offered a thing on a Patreon thing or something of like people could pay money to go and stay in this room that was plastered with all the pictures of Richard Ramirez, and he had to put a thing out saying it's not true, it's not real. Don't keep asking because it doesn't exist.
Wow.
And he's like, ah. Uh, there was a short film with that called Ring Ring, which was quite interesting. Again, it was a little bit odd. It's about a guy who buys this old phone from a market, and he's told that he can use it to contact the dead. So he takes it home and he starts talking to his mother. It's got quite a good twist in it, but it's yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. The film after that called Delirio Cremisi. No idea what that stands for or anything, to be honest. It's Italian. Uh, it was a very odd film that it, I think the message of the film was don't try to get one over on gods because they'll get their own back on you.
Yeah, okay.
But it was kind of in a very strange and quite graphic way, people being slaughtered and things like that. So interesting. Well, then the next feature film I watched, what I thought really good, was from Japan called Erica. And it's interesting. It starts off with a young guy who falls for this young woman who he thinks is in an abusive relationship. And he ends up killing the guy that's abusing her, and they bury the body in the woods, as you do.
What did you do?
Yeah. And then she starts acting very odd.
Mm.
Uh, the brother of the guy that they killed comes looking for him, and they're worried about that. But she starts being completely paranoid and insane and mad, and it all spirals out of control. And she's basically a psycho.
Ah,
Um, I thought it was really good. It's a really good film. It's kind of about, again, it's a psychological more than a, yeah, it's got a little bit of blood in it and that sort of thing, but it's mainly to do with the mind games being played and that sort of thing. I really liked that.
Mm.
Um, I don't know what I've got now. Uh, Short film called The Night Never Ends. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, this was another one. This they started it and then they had to restart it because it wasn't loud enough really. It
Mm.
looked interesting, but it was very odd. There was a voiceover all the way through it. And I didn't quite understand what it was about. There was a bit in it when it seemed to be a dream in which this guy was swapping one of his eyes with a woman who was blind in both eyes so that they could both see out of one eye each. I don't know.
Unusual.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, it's one of these films that looked good, but I'm not absolutely sure what it was about. I then unfortunately watched a film called Evil for Dinner, which is, I say unfortunately, it's a cannibal film.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite gory at the start, and then it kind of settles into kind of a film about sort of hillbilly family and
Mm.
strange things. The humor isn't it in it isn't my kind of thing. It's kind of
Uh,
it's quite American, quite well, I'll show you one of the guys they've got in it playing a supporting role is the guy who was the guy who made a lot of the films for Troma.
oh, okay.
He plays the mayor of the city, the town that they're living in. And I'm not into Troma films at all. Never have been. I mean, I could probably count about three of their films that I
Mm.
ever actually liked.
Oh, okay. Well, I did like the new Toxic Crusader film.
I haven't seen that. I
I
never
did
liked
like
the
it.
original, so I didn't.
It's one of these ones where they make out it's old school trauma, but it is more acceptable for newer viewers. I My personal favourite was Nukem High,
Yeah,
where that's actually one of my personal favourites of the trauma ones, where the obviously the toxic sludge gets infected in with the town's weed supply, and
yeah, I
all
quite
sorts of
like Nukem
weird
High. I thought that was
chili
quite
and
good.
protein, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, trauma and me have a weird relationship. It's like I like some of it, and I like some of the ideas, but it's very rare that I like it as a whole.
but it's got very much got that kind of humor in it, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's okay, but I don't. It wasn't really something I would really rate, to be honest with you. Uh, I saw a talk about the thing that was going on in the screen where I was one that I thought was going to be the short films, but didn't end up being that. Was two guys talking about a new book that they've brought out, which is all about the history of cannibal movies.
Okay.
So it's got things like Cannibal Holocaust and what's it called? I can't remember what they call it. There were about four or five of them they mentioned quite often.
Mm,
So but it was interesting hearing what they were saying. But I've only seen a couple of those films, so I really didn't know
mm.
much about what they were talking about.
I
But
mean, a lot of the Cannibal Holocaust films, I
mm,
remember them being in a lot of trouble at one point because they couldn't really. They sort of had to sort of explain that none of the animals were hurt. A lot of people did think they were snuff films at the time because they
yeah,
were pretty gory.
yeah. Well, that's what they were talking about is the fact that and it was kind of played up for a while that
Yeah, it.
but then they had to come out and say no. He said none of this is true.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember which Cannibal Holocaust film it was, or if it was a Cannibal Holocaust film at all. It was definitely a cannibal horror, and it was one of these ones where one of the victims is literally laid in a table, and there's a circle thing at the top, and literally he's going whop up like that, and then they sort of carve the head back like that, and they all eat. You know, all these posh people are eating it with a spoon and stuff out of
Yeah,
the guy's head in the middle of the table. You know, it was like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. No,
yeah, grim.
no, I remember watching Cannibal Holocaust, but I, I think I've only ever seen one of the other ones they were talking about. Not really, never really my kind of thing.
No, yeah, it's a bit too yeah,
Um,
for me. I mean, I gave them a go because I'm very open to watching all different types of cinema, but definitely not me. I don't
no,
think, you know. It's like I've
no.
only ever seen I Spit on Your Grave once. I thought, well, I'll watch it once, see if it's any good. And, you know, there's certain films I'd never watch again.
I haven't seen I Spit on Your Grave. I must admit, I haven't
Uh,
seen that one.
well, you know, I'm not going to tell you to not watch it, but I'm not going to. But I would
No, well,
recommend you.
I take people's recommendations with a pinch of salt now because of the fact that I watched uh, of my own volition, and I will admit this, I watched Human Centipede.
Oh dear, yeah, that's
And
one
then
thing. I'm never going to watch Human Centipede alone.
and then somebody said to me, "Oh, you should really watch the second one." So I started watching the second one. I couldn't even get halfway through, and I thought, "Nope, nope, not watching this." And then they brought a third one out, and I thought, "Why?"
Well, it's shock horror, isn't it? Shock horror
Oh,
gore.
yeah, it's sick for the sake of being sick, basically.
And for most of my, and for, you know, isn't most of it in his imagination anyway? It doesn't even happen.
Oh,
You know, so
I've
yeah,
kind of tried really hard to blank it out of my memory.
but yeah, I Spit on Your Grave. It's definitely one I'd say watch once, and then you can say you've watched it.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't say it's an enjoyable film. I would say, you know, scarred for life more than
fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's one of these films that you watch it and you go, okay,
The last film I watched on day two is one that we can talk about probably because it's one that I sent you. They sent us a screen
yes,
for it
that's a,
to do a more in-depth thing, and it's a new independent film called 45.
mm,
I really liked this film. It's just trying to think of can't get the wrong bloody page open with them. Hang on. Baz Hancher is the director and
mm,
the guy who sent us the screener. Um, I really liked this film. I thought it was a really interesting idea
yes.
behind it.
And like you say, like there's been a lot of satanic horror stuff. There's been a lot of religious horror stuff lately, but this was definitely stood out for me. And when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is something new and a bit different. And it freaked me out. There's not many films that actually freaked me out like as a kid, but this it brought back, you know, young Badger going to church and being told not to watch The Exorcist, and then you scurry home and watch it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
scares the bejesus out of you. You know, it brought back memories of like being scared, what say, nameless of The Exorcist. You know,
yeah.
but
No, I really liked. I mean, I think it's incredibly well made
yes,
for a low budget independent film. I thought it was really good, and the effects and the makeup and that sort of thing were really good.
yeah, and like you say, the monster reveals and things like that were done brilliantly. The effects, the practical effects were done great. The killer slash demon that was in it really freaked me out. So congratulations to them for doing that on the shoestring. You know.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, everybody in it was really good. I mean, they all worked really well. They're all believable characters.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's kind of open for taking on to doing a second film or
Yes. They. I really hope they do because it was left at a point where it was very open ended,
yeah.
and I'm like, come on now. This if you don't make a sequel to this, I'm going to be annoyed because it literally left it as a cliffhanger. You know. I'm
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
come on now. But yeah, I really liked it. The effects were great. Don't quite know how they managed to pull those off on a limited budget, but kudos to them. Very believable locations in the UK.
Yeah,
You're talking like grimy, sort of like calf, and the church was a very believable place. All the locations were sort of grounded in reality, and I think that really helps it.
it does. Yeah, yeah. And I just say, I think the characters that I mean, the actors played their parts really well. They
Yeah,
were all kind of believable in the way they came across, the way that they talked to each other, and that as well. It didn't feel like it was stilted at all.
no, and
No.
obviously you had like the scenes where they were interacting, like you say, it felt natural, and it felt like when you got into the church scene, I wasn't sure. You don't really get that much information about the vicar character, but you couldn't quite tell if he was good or bad to begin with.
Yeah,
And then that was quite a believable, scary scene, and the interactions were good,
yeah, definitely.
and
I
it
definitely,
definitely had that sort of every time there was a new scene, it's like the sense of foreboding ramped up. Have you seen, reminded me of The Ring,
yeah,
how each time it goes onto a different bit, and the closer they get to the solving the mystery, the scarier it gets. And I thought that was good. It
yeah,
was believable. The tension was there, and it was like every time you get closer, you think, "Oh, what's going to happen now?" I liked
absolutely.
that.
I mean, the interesting thing is, I interviewed Andrew Elias, who was the guy who played the priest. I
Yes,
interviewed him the other week on the show, so it was
yes. It seems like a very lovely man. So.
he is very nice to meet him there at the thing as well. So day two, my favourite features were Erica and 45, and I would say Erica and 45 and Severed Road. I would definitely quite happily sit through all of those again.
Mm.
Quite happy to watch all of those again. Favourite shorts were probably Rock Paper Scissors Death, Drive at Dawn, Silent Screams, Forget Me Not, and Ring Ring. So yes, yeah.
Yes, you're a real trooper because you went to see a lot, didn't you?
That was the end of day two. I'll tell you, one year it would be nice to go and watch these films and actually just go and watch them and not sit there to take notes in the dark while I'm doing it. You should see the scribble and scrawl on
Oh,
these
God.
pages.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be the one writing the notes instead.
I've written over the top. Some of the reason why I can't read some of these sometimes is because I've written over the top of the same line three
Oh,
times.
bless you.
Yeah. Right, day three. The Scisforror Film Podcast.